Okay, the last biochemical test that you're going to be doing is going to be the urease test. And basically, obviously, as it sounds, it's looking for the enzyme urease, which breaks down urea. So if you think about, like if you've ever smelt a baby's diaper, not a poopy diaper, but a regular just pee diaper, it smells a little bit like ammonia. Well, urea is the breakdown of proteins, the breakdown of amino acids. It's a waste product, okay? And so when you urinate, you're excreting that urea from the breakdown of the proteins because it's, obviously toxic. Well, what happens is that baby sits in the diaper and sits in the urine. The bacteria on the baby's skin, or maybe from the, baby's feces previously, starts to break down the urea. So the bacteria, if they produce urease, they will change the urea and break it down, and they will produce ammonia, and that's what you smell, okay? Now ammonia is going to raise the pH. It's going to cause it to become more basic. So just like we saw with the fermentation tubes, the indicator in the urea test is also going to be phenol red. But remember, in the fermentation tubes, we were looking for an acidic product. We were looking for the phenol red to go yellow. In this case, we're going to look for the phenol red to go to a basic product, and it's actually our indicated basic product, and it's going to turn a very, very hot pink. It's a fuchsia type of color. Notice that it starts out as kind of in a light yellow, orangey color, peachy color, I guess would be the word for it. Okay, so just like we did with the fermentation, we're going to do the same thing. You're going to have the 4 urea tubes, and then you're going to have the 1 control. This time we can put the control in the incubator. You're going to do the same thing with putting the specific bacteria into one urea tube. As before, labeling them before you put it in. I'm not going to go through the process of inoculating those. We've already done that several times, so I don't need to show you how to do that again. So once again, we're probably always going to do this simultaneously with the litmus milk, but may also do it also on the same day as a fermentation test. So we're adding more tubes to our scenario here. So this one's the control, and these are the 4 bacteria. So with the urease test, one of the things to keep in mind is it's a really specific test for organisms in the Proteus genus, okay, like Proteus vulgaris or mirabilis. And so one of the things that we want to look at with this test is how quickly it turns. Now, we can't really come back in 24 hours, but what you want to look at is when you come back after 48 hours, after the 2 days between our labs, you might notice that some of them have turned all the way pink and some of them have turned partially pink. So the ones that are fast at producing the urease will go pink very quickly. The ones that are slow will go pink slower, and maybe not the full tube will be pink. Also with this and the fermentation tubes, sometimes it's best to stop them at 24 hours. So in some cases, I may actually go to the incubator the day between our class and take some of the tubes out that have already changed and put them in the fridge so they don't go too far. What can happen is, especially with things like fermentation, is it will turn that yellow color, but then as all the sugar is gone from the tube because the bacteria have used it, then it might start to revert to using the peptides in there and may revert back to red. So with all of these types of tests, actually the timing is really important. With something like the urease and even the litmus milk, in some cases we'll go even longer than the 48 hours to get a true result. So for these types of tests, we're just going to look at the timing, and like I said, I might take some out early, or we might let some go like over the weekend in some cases to see if it gets a full result. I know with the results on the urease that there's a column for 24 hours or 48 hours and a column for 7 days, which I might be lying about, so we'll look that up. Da-da-da. Nope, there isn't. So never mind. We're going to go ahead and read them at 48 days. Gosh, in 48 hours. So the urea test, the urease test, the litmus milk, and the carbohydrate fermentation tests are all kind of often done together, and there's different time periods that we're going to look at the results.